Hi, I'm Julie Shepherd, Director of Heartbroken to Healed. We're a social enterprise, so a community interest company, which means that we work along the lines of a charity. So where people can afford to fund their own places, I certainly ask you to. And where you can't, I apply for charitable funding to sponsor places because I believe that everyone deserves to heal their broken heart. I arrived in the world of grief over a decade ago after the sudden and unexpected death of my husband. My heart was broken and I didn't know how to put one foot in front of the other. 10 months later, still trapped in deep grief, I began to think that this can't be the only way to live my life in the future. So I began to lean on my research capabilities to explore how I could possibly heal my heart and feel better. I discovered a small purple handbook called the Grief Recovery Method that transformed the way that I thought about my grief. And that book dared to say that if I followed the steps in the program, I too might feel better. I thought, you know what, I've got absolutely nothing to lose. So I found a Julie, I found someone who knew more about grief recovery than I did, and embarked upon my group program. It was really scary, sharing my personal stuff with strangers, but boy am I glad I did. That program transformed the quality of my life. It's taught me how forgiveness feels. I realized I needed to forgive my husband for dying and leaving me with a great big hole in my heart. I also realized that grief was cumulative, and it was cumulatively negative. And boy, had I got some other stuff that had gone on in my life too. There had been the death of grandparents. My dad died when I was 21. I learned that emigrating is also a grieving process, because when things change, we grieve that change in circumstances. So I'd not only emigrated once as a teenager, but as an adult in later life. I'd lost my home, my business, my finances, my family, my brother-in-law to suicide, 6 friends to cancer in a year. And it just felt as though my loss went on and on and on. So I've made it my life work to resolve the emotional fallout of all of my grief and loss. Because why should I carry the burden and the pain that's connected to that if I don't have to? And that's what I'm inviting you to do too, to put down the burden of the pain of your loss, wherever that might be.